model that people are working on, and you can have models for that. So technology co-development partnership. Okay. So this again, there's a case study on real-time process simulator for ferroalloys and portable micro-hardness tester. Then also PPP venture. So this is where you have an industry as a partner in innovation. Then of course the societal technologies. For all these things, you have different types of models that you need. So in the end, to sum up, it says I say that there's no ubiquitous approach to transfer the technology transfer. The next one, please. Okay. So I was talking about the technology readiness level. So generally they are put in about 9 levels, ranging from basic research to the commercial development. But then this will also give you a tool to decide on when is it that you want to transfer the technology. Okay, and more importantly, if you feel that there's no promise in this technology, the technology is going to fail, then it's better you fail early. So it also decides when to say that okay, let me fail. It's not going to take off, so fail early. Instead of spending good amount of investment resources and then finding out that it is failing. So you must have models which will say that when is it that if you fail early, fail early. I mean, if you're going to fail early, and also no-go on investment. Looking at the market potential of the technology that would come out with, so it will help you in go and no-go on investment. Next one, please. Okay. So this again, the same technology readiness level and the value of death. As I said, for the government institutions, especially during the 1, 2, 3, and then maybe up to the 4th stage, you find that the excitement of the scientist is there because the bench scale reactions that he has have come out with good results. And sometimes if he publishes, the publications are in high impact factor journals, or if you have patented, pay many people to come and then take your patents. But then the investments, of course, if you see, are much low compared to what the private sector would actually invest. But then the private sector would start investing only when you find that the technology has been demonstrated, okay, and you are reasonably confident that yes, this is where I can start investing. And once they do that, you have huge investment coming in from private sector. But then in between there is that value of death that needs to be bridged. And that is something which is very critical. That's where the industry and the academia need to partner and then work out ways and mechanisms to cross over this gap. Next one, please. Okay. And this again, the amount of resources that would actually go in, whether the government or the private sector. So you see that initially the resources will be very high, and then later on when it comes to technology development, that's where the government resources dry up. But of course, you also have some programs wherein from the TDB, Nimitli or BIRAC, where they are also giving it for technology development. I'm sure that Dr. Rao would be speaking more on that. Okay, so I'll skip this and then go further. Next one, please. Okay, so these are some of the case studies that I'll go into. This is about the blast furnace project that we have installed Tata Steel when I was there at National Metallurgy Laboratory, Bokaro Steel, and then Bhilai Steel Limited. Okay, so without going much into the details. Can you go to the next slide, please? So these are some of the modeling studies that we have done. So the modeling studies were matched with the experimental studies. Okay, the next one. Okay, next one, please. Just yeah. So what we have seen is when we were actually working with Tata Steel. The type of enthusiasm that they had initially was phenomenal, okay, but then later on at some stage after we had to give whatever we had to give, then they have said that okay, fine, this is where we take off and then we try to develop it further. So that's one of the models that you need to work on, that when you transfer a technology, you want the company to come to work further on it and then develop further. So this is one thing that we have seen with Tata Steel. Whereas in the other public sector, I don't mind giving names, but then in Bokaro, somehow it has always been some technology which has been thrust on them, and they were not ready to really accept it. So it took good amount of time for us to make them realize that it indeed is good for them. And then later on we had Bhilai Steel coming forward and then taking the same technology. So this is where the technology push and market pull will happen, because when we started, the project was about 3 to 4 crores. That's the initial proposal that we made. But then when we finished it, because of the technology market pull, it went up to 65 crores, and there were many industrial partners. The next one, please. Okay. This is where the industry would partner with you in innovation. So where we give total solutions from lab to commercial scale. This is one example that which we at IICT. This is on hydrogen hydrate. So this is a product which about 100% is being imported from China and other places. So we have seen this, and then because there is a demand, Indian demand itself, the total global demand is about 200,000 tons per annum. And Indian market is about 40,000 tons per annum. So we started, partnered with it. Had the GSCL team was sitting with us, and then initially we come out with lab scale. We transferred it. Then we went up to pilot scale. Pilot scale is fully functional now. Now we are going to the commercial scale, and it will be installed by 2017. So the takeaway from that is you need to involve industry right from the beginning as a partner. So this is on one side you had total solutions. The other one is integrated solutions. Here you find about 3 products. One is PTBT, PTBBA, and PTBMB. Okay. So initially the company approached us for ester. So then we said fine, we'll be able to do that, but then to do that you need PTBBA, and PTBBA by itself has a huge market. So why don't we have solution for PTBBA? Why don't you take it? They said fine, we'll have PTBMB, but then to make that I need PTBBA. We'll also take that technology. Then we said okay fine, PTBBA is there, but then to make that I need PTBT. You need PTBT, and PTBT itself has good market. So why don't you take that? We have a solution. So this way the backward integration we have looked at a range of solutions that we have transferred to Vinati Organics. And here again the Vinati Organics the guy has spent about 6 months in our premises working with the pilot plants and then the bench scale reactions. Next one please. Okay. Now, when you want to partner innovations, you need to look at which is the domain which you want to really partner. So we coming from the public sector, we would like to have partner in that small region where it is desirable to users, what is possible with technology, and what is viable in the marketplace. And where all three converge, that's the place we look at partnering innovations. Next one, please. Okay. So of course, innovations are a good number of definitions. I'll skip this, but then I'll go to the next slide where we have defined what is innovation, what innovation means for us. This has been given by our former Director General, Dr. Mashelkar. He said innovation is creating more and more, okay, from less and less, for more and more number of people. So this is the concept which the CSR labs take home when they talk of innovation, and then they look at partnering innovations. Next one, please. Okay. So this is another where you have a technology industry as a partner, and then we co-develop. The other one is we provide total solutions, integrated solutions. Here the industry itself comes with us, and then they co-develop. This is when I was there at National Metals Laboratory. This was on the ferroalloy furnaces. The Navbharat and Ventures and Tata Steel, they have come together, and then we have worked, and then we have come out with real-time process simulators. Next one, please. Okay. So these are some of the models that we have come out with. Okay. But then the takeaway is that industry is very open to try out new innovations, but only thing is you need to establish faith, and also industry is open for research collaborations which are relevant to them. Okay. So what you need to do as a government publicly funded scientist is to look for technologies which are relevant to the industry. Okay. This is another example wherein we have developed a micro hardness tester. This was again at National Metallurgy Laboratory, wherein Ducom was actually also starting with us, and then we have developed it. And this is also an example for technology as an industry as a partner in co-development. Next one, please. So the takeaway is that good innovations tend to attract eager technologies. So this is in public-private partnership. Again, you are partnering innovation. IICT has, two such examples. One is, Evalva partnership. This is a Swiss-based company where we developed a host of solutions in the genetic chemistry. Then we have partnered with Asian Cosmos. This is a Toyota-based company in dye-sensitive solar cells. While we were good at chemistry part, they were good in the fabrication part. So we came together and then we have created certified benchmark in dye-sensitive solar cell efficiency. Next one, please. Okay. So this is one example where, when you talk of food security, enzymatic degumming of rice bran oil, in fact, about 50% of the rice bran oil that is being produced in India comes from this technology developed at IICT. It has been transferred to about 27 industries, but then the transfer was not very easy because there was also a subsidy amount involved in it. About 45 lakh subsidy was given to whoever was taking the technology. Okay, and people are just taking the subsidy and then doing nothing, and then reporting that the technology doesn't work. Okay, it's then that we went and then have done an audit of how they have spent, what they are doing. Then we realized that the money that they have taken was meant to be subsidy. Subsidy was just to put in their bank. So then we said this model doesn't work. We impressed upon the government that they must permit us to do a subsidy audit. Only then that the funds would be released. So this the government has come forward to do that. And after that, once in one or two industries they have seen the success, there was no looking back further on that. Next one, please. Okay. Of course, it has won several awards. Next one, please. Okay. So the government does promote technologies related to food security, but then you need to have checks and balances and subsidy audit necessary for its successful implementation. Next one, please. Okay. Okay. So these are again, one of the other examples of societal technologies. This is anaerobic gas lift reactor. So we have 1 ton per day plant installed about 3 or 4 places. Okay. So this, this being of societal nature, we just give it free. Next one, please. Fine. So this is also about water technology. Again, this technology doesn't involve the transfer cost is not there. So for all technology, next one, please. So for all such technology, this is a firm on application technology. We don't have any cost to it. Next one. Next one, please. Okay. This is one failure study wherein, though the technology was very good, Cochlear Scripula, this was at NML, we could not deliver it in time, so that was the reason. Of course, there is several other reasons as well, because the real estate market went up, so that's the reason, this could not be successful. Next one, please. Okay. The next one, I'll skip this. Okay. Next one. Okay. I think because time is not there, I'll go to the next one. This is investment and human capital, and I think this is a figure that you'll always get. But this is one thing that you need to look at. You need to look at, what are the emerging markets and then try to make investment in that. Next one. Okay. You also need to look at conflicting values and common interests, and then try to leave out things which are not mutually beneficial, like ego. Next one, please. Like knowledge for sake, academic freedom. All these things you need to leave out, and then what you need to look at, where you converge, and then try to commercialize new and useful technologies. Okay. So let me conclude that there is no ubiquitous approach for technology transfer. Okay. Now technology transfer and technology commercialization, people tend to believe that they don't coexist, but then yes, they do coexist. But then you need different skills for technology transfer and technology commercialization. And government has a large role to play in promoting technologies that have strategic and societal importance. And one good thing is research organizations in the current decade have good mechanisms for technology transfer. Next one. Okay. I leave this as a passing remark. It looks as if technology transfer paradigms are reliable, but then people say that they do not work. Okay. The reason is because they are standard paradigms. You start cribbing, if it fails. So people believe that and then say that the paradigms, they don't work. May be true, may not be true. Similarly, conjunctures, they look to be unreliable, but then they often work. People say that they often work. Why do it? Because we gloat when it only succeeds. So we remember only that. Similarly, intuition always works. Now this intuition is generally taken by the boss, and the boss is always right. Okay. And boss is always right because we remember only the success stories. Okay. So I leave you with these thoughts. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Bhujangarao from. I carry some thoughts from the pharma industry to supplement some of the views from my friend Dr. Satyanarayan. Next one, please. I think I will try to discuss the strengths of the pharma industry, and probably I will focus also on the gaps of technology transfer, gaps of the industry, and the gaps in discovery research, things like that. And this is an initial slide where you take from a concept and go for materialization until commercialization. This is what we understand the product development, the protocol. Next one, please. So this is how we work. There is an R&D inception model, what we call proof of concept, and it's taken to the pilot study. And particularly in all technologies, it is common pilot study, also in engineering industry, but pharma industry is most important. That's where I think actually technology is seen as from the lab scale to the pilot scale, and then of course the commercialization and the final marketing stages. Next one, please. So if we see that, the four types of things are possible, at least theoretically. One is the in-house model, the 100 plus 0. That is, all capabilities lie in-house, from the test tube to pilot to commercial to material. And most of the generic industries now are like that. We don't have to depend on any other industry. The second is a collaborative, 50-50. 50% we give to from the institutions like IICT, and we co-develop and then commercialize. And the in-licensing, totally borrowed. For some reason, and we are in a hurry or something, and technology is required, or there is no enough skills available, so we completely buy the technology. It is 0 plus 100. Out-licensing is different. We develop for somebody and transfer as a whole, as a consultant model or something, we transfer the technology. So these four are the normal technology model. I think in generic industry and pharma industry, we work on all the four currently. Yes, next one, please. So the learnings from the pharma industry are like this. Next one. So one is if you take the generic thing, there is a chemical technology, there is a pharmaceutical science, pharmaceutical technology is involved, there is a scale-up and manufacturing and marketing and commercialization. Most of these industries are self-sufficient, so therefore we don't require any collaboration, so we work like that. But next one, please. Occasionally what happens is there is what is called CRO, CMO, CCO model, contract research, contract manufacturing, consultancy services. We hire these services to the extent of 20%. For some reason, a particular test is required. I don't have to buy that particular equipment for that, or analytical method has to be developed. And I find a group in a government laboratory and another institution where the analytical development is needed. So we give that as a consultancy service, and we get that. And these models are quite successful. They speed up the process of the pharma industry now. Next one, please. So then I think we have to slightly change gear. From 2000 onwards, a thing which I have not used so far, the intellectual property. This IP has emerged, and we need to remodel the whole technology issues and technology transfer issues, technology development issues. Although we are capable of developing a particular technology, the patent prevents it. There's no way you can go ahead because the product is patented. So there are 2-3 types of models are available, started emerging since 2000 to tackle this IP model. One is wait till patent expiry. Very simple model. And you don't work on that because there is no way you can beat that patent. So wait till that one. It's not a great model. Techno-legal remedial measures are a challenge and oppose this IP. So that is where now you require IP strength even to oppose an IP. Because you need to understand what is that patent. Most of these patents are evergreening patents, we say that. You know that NATCO is in news in opposing a couple of them, and we are quite successful in opposing that. You require quite a strong techno-legal basis for that. So that we started developing it. The entire pharma industry for the past 10-15 years or so. And the patent opposition tools. Even after the grant, you can take it. For some reason, it is granted, but you require skills to do that. In such case, the patent probably is not granted, and the industry can work on that. The next one, please. But supposing the patent is not challengeable, and patent is granted, it is a valid patent, and we need to respect the patent, but then the licensing comes. Now, whether there is a way of getting it licensed, because we are not talking about then electronics or something. This is a life-saving drug where 40,000 cancer patients are there because of some liver cancer or lung cancer. There is no other drug. probably you have to go for licensing. I call it negotiated licensing. So you can approach the patent holder and talk about some terms. If those terms don't work out, you will have to go for the compulsory licensing, approaching the government machinery to work, and that's how I think these two models. One is the Nexavar model for compulsory licensing, our company, NATCO. The second one is the hepatitis. Gilead has licensed us. There's no compulsion there. It is a voluntary licensing. It's a negotiated licensing deal with them. So both worked very well for us. Next one, please. Then I say that no, the very word compulsion is negative for me. No, it has to be kind of a voluntary thing, right? So the moment in the compulsory, you'll find that not many things have come. After NATCO's thing, no other secondary compulsory licensing has come to the fore because of this. Whereas, if you talk about, next one please. Win-win situations. If it is a negotiated or voluntary models, so they give us something and expect something in return, and that's a very, very absolutely positive mode, and we call synergizing dual strengths. They find some strengths in it, and they do that. In fact, this hepatitis drugs, sofosbuvir is like that. And Gilead licensed to about 11 companies. We are one of them. And they find that these 11 companies can go to 110 other countries, which Gilead cannot penetrate, and their market expands, and everywhere they get 10% of the royalty. So what's wrong in that? So that kind of model is working very well now. Next one, please. And this is what it is now. Within the Indian R&D pharma, so we have a substantial cross-functioning IP generation is needed, and when it comes to new chemical entities, so probably this is where we are at crossroads. So what to do? So probably, this is a